Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on preparation for ICS exams. With us today, we have Captain Ashok Gogia, who is the chairman of ICS Mumbai Branch. We have Captain Anupam Raizada, who is an MICS and will be also guiding us on the examination pattern and how to appear for the examination. Also with us, we have Valerie Fernandez, who is joining us from ICS Mumbai office. So without wasting much time, let us hear from Captain Anupam more about the ICS exam preparations. Over to you, Captain Anupam.
I think we got almost 86% have participated, 26, 4 of us minus,
Yes.
so that's 30. So I think we are all good. So
let me share the results with everyone.
please. Yeah, please.
So we've got only a couple of people who are giving the exams this time. So 90% are giving exams, in 2025. But it's good. So for the guys who are giving next year, they would like to understand. They've not made up their mind, but would like to give exams at a later stage, or they would like to have an overview of ICS. So that's how the audience, the people joining.
Perfect. So we have again a good mix, and yes, we do understand that the people who are giving exam in November, they might, we would presume that they should be studying right now than attending this webinar. So I do understand, but it's always nice to clear your doubts. And there are quite a few people who almost 45 to 50% who want to give it next year. So this can also be a good person. So since we already know the breakup of this crowd, I would, and we are going to make this this webinar very interactive, because the whole idea here is you are already aware of ICS in a way. So that part is, in a way, for this one we will skip. Of course, we can always discuss, but right now the idea is all about the exams. So I would like you to, I mean, are you all, Valerie, do you have the schedule? Have we given all the admit cards? Is all that done? And if anybody has any doubts, please raise a point, raise your questions, and we can answer that as well. Yeah, Valerie, if you can just answer, when is the exam? Have we already given all the admit cards? Can you please answer that?
Exams are starting from November 11th till 21st November.
Okay, 24. Can you just also just tell? Do you have the schedule with you in a way which exam is when? Can you just share that? I mean, just verbally, you can just share that.
Okay. On 11th November, first paper is tanker chartering and second is dry cargo chartering. On one only day, both the papers are there. On 12th November, we have legal principle and port agency. And on 13, we have introduction to shipping and shipping business. On 14, we have economics and ship operations. And then on 18 November, we have ship sales and purchase and port terminal management. And on 19 November, we have logistic and multimodal transport and marine insurance. And on 20th, we have liner trades, shipping law. And on 21st, we have shipping finance and offshore support.
Got it. So basically, most of the days, I would understand that we have almost 2 papers on one day.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
Of course, depending if you have actually taken those subjects.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, again, for the benefit of the crowd, have all the admit cards, etc., already been given?
Yes, sir.
It's already we have already shared it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So admit cards have gone. Has anybody who is giving exams, or has anybody not received it? So please let us know, so that I mean, you can either just message us, or you can even raise your hands and you can please. Anybody here?
So, Anupam, can I say something?
Please, sir, please.
Okay, so what I would like to mention here is that out of the people who are sitting for the exam in November, we only have two. There are only two of them over here. As long as they have received what they call the hall tickets, they're called the hall tickets. I've been following up with Valerian on a regular basis, and she has already done that job of mailing them the hall tickets. So yes, I think they must have all received it. And if they haven't received it, they will get back to Valerian. And I think we still have time. The whole of next week is there. She'll definitely follow up with them. For some reason, if there's been some mistake or something, she will definitely correct it.
Perfect. So this is fine. Now in that case, since quite a few people are still making up their mind and are giving it next time, for the benefit of the audience, would be know where do we get our study material from? Let's straight away head to that, because the ones which are going to give next year will need the study material. The ones who are still deciding to give will also need the study material. So, Captain Ashok, if you can just guide us on this part.
Okay, so here we go. We start off with first. I honestly feel that we should, since it's a preparation for those who are taking the exam, or like the this webinar is for, the address is preparation for those who are studying. So what I would like to say is that where your studies are concerned, we would like to give you a brief as to how you should go around studying these papers. For those who are already sitting, and there are just two of them, they have already reached the state where they are more or less prepared and they must be revising. However, the material is available. You can contact our office at any time. We have the material which is originally come from UK and it is up for sale. So you can contact us once you know the costing and you know the charges. We shall courier it to you. That's one part. The other part I would like to say, for the preparation of the studies, go onto the website. When you go onto the website, you will be having question papers. Some of your, because of your networking amongst each other, you all might also be having the previous papers. What I would suggest is whenever you prepare for the exam, you all have to, you get 8 questions. Out of the 8 questions, you have to do 5. However, my suggestion is that time yourself, do the paper and do all 8 questions. The best way of doing it, at least 15 days before the paper, you should start writing. Because I know writing is, for some of us, it's a thing of the past, but all the same, we are a little conservative and these papers are still being written. So please get into the practice. 3 hours of writing can get quite tiresome. So what I would suggest, that do actually the papers and do all 8 questions. Time yourself accordingly, because on pro rata basis you can extend your timing also. But if you don't have, even if you want to look at those questions, at least start writing, so that helps you. And your exams, it's then easy flow for you to sit for the exams.
Fair enough. Gaurav, is it possible? Thank you so much, Captain Ashok. Gaurav, is it possible to just there is a presentation by Mr. Krishnan. Can you just push it up? Can you do that?
Sure, will do.
So just again, it's a very fairly simple presentation which has been in a way given as a guide, as a guidance, and we'll just put it in the presentation form. So, well, sitting for the exams, I know, I really just don't want to kind of read it. This is, believe in yourself, you can do it. Okay. Well, the whole idea of getting an ICS exam is obviously getting a worldwide professional qualification. So I know for people who are giving now before the Diwali, or Diwali is a little it's going to be in the study zone. But however, once you finish your exams, the feeling of getting the certificate and hanging up, which I have done, and I'm sure Gaurav and Sir has also done, on your in your office or in your houses, is something worth the study. Yeah, Gaurav, if we can just go to the next one, please. This is where, of course, for the this I will ask again Captain Ashok to come in. For the students who have already enrolled for the November, obviously it is too late for them to come and attend any lecture or online. However, if you have still some doubts, please feel free to even write here, or you can write on an email to us. If you have anything, we will let you know. However, for the future batches, there is we will announce certain. It's like tuitions, classes, whatever the word you can give, Captain Ashok, Captain Gaurav, we will all be, there'll be something which will happen so that you can get trained just like any other professional qualification. So this, we will come back to you in a later stage. Captain Ashok, you would like to add on to this particular thing about
Yes.
classes and online?
Yes, we used to earlier, what we used to do a bit of tutoring before the exams, and candidates who were sitting for the exams, they would come to our office, sit down, and it was a face-to-face thing. There is our secretary in Mumbai is Captain Nimish Maitre. He, myself, we used to sit, and all the doubts which were there were cleared. The doubts were basically in the understanding of the subject. So me being a dry cargo person, I would take the dry cargo questions, ship operations, ship business, and Captain Maitre would take tanker chartering and wet cargo. So that was the briefing. However, now we do know there is a fair amount of demand. So after post the completion of these exams, we will sort out a plan, we will sort out a structure by which we shall be informing all the candidates who plan to appear in the month of May for tutoring classes. The format of the tutoring classes will be informed, and then we can go ahead. The question and answers, all that will be being online, will be very much in touch of each other, in touch of the candidates and us.
Perfect. Gaurav, can you just go to the next one, please? So yeah, I mean, this is again for we missed drawing. I mean, without any planning, this exam will not. If you, the word is, if you procrastinate, honestly, you may have a problem, because there is a bit of studies to be done for this exam. So please, whenever you enroll, after all, you are paying for it. It's your money. You should not really, sit on it. And it is a very, it's not very bookish professional exam. If you're not aware of the basic surroundings, what is happening, general knowledge, your trade area, sea routes, and if you do not solve the past question papers, you will not get a fair idea of what the questions will come and what the examiner desires out of that answer. And especially in this qualification, this exam, of course, Captain Ashok and even Captain Gaurav can give, there is no right answer. I mean, all answers may drop to the same thing, but how you approach it is what is important, and that is what the examiner says. Captain Ashok, would you want to elaborate on this part? That
yes,
is,
yes,
this is not like a school exam where you say, okay, this is the formula and this is the answer. This is, I think, more of checking the real knowledge of the candidate.
Yes, Anupam, you're absolutely right. Now, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the idea behind this paper, if you're sitting, that also means that you have done your basic education and now you want to do something professional. Professional means that it is going to be your career, one way or the other, wet cargo, dry cargo, or it is sale and purchase, or it is ship agency, whatever it is going to be a profession. Now, if something is your profession, you would probably take interest from day one. And with these days, with networking and with the amount of information available on Google, on other media, please get interested in the subject. And honestly speaking, when the examiners check your paper, they are also looking for how aware are you of the current situation. In my time, I remember the tsunami had come, and then the question was, how are you affected? How is the country affected? How is the shipping world affected by tsunami? What are the trades that are taking place? What are the trades that are not taking place? Similarly, you also have, before you sit for the exam, they prepare the paper at least about 3-4 months before, prior to that. So you have to be abreast of all the current situations, the current news, the current papers. It is very, very important that you keep in touch with it. Now, also remember what you do now, it will be very easy for the examiner to make out that you have connected the knowledge which you got from the book to the real life situation that is happening outside. And how shipping has been affected. Like currently, we were never taking oil from Russia. Now we've started taking from Russia. So mentioning that route, or they would say, leave it up to open to you, prepare a route in the current existing times. So now you have to have the political information, what is happening. So yes, it is study is very important, and I'm very happy that some of those who are sitting next year have already taken a call or planning to decide now. So get interested into the shipping world. Every bit of information helps. Here I see it's written, we missed drawings on the subject plan. Well, we will come to this. I will talk to you about this a little later. But what I wanted to mention to you, like Anupam had said, keep in touch with the present times. Everything, all over the paper, every paper has something or the other about shipping. Otherwise, go onto the net. There are a lot of free websites where you can get the information. And I can also forward some of the websites where you can get the information.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. Captain Gaurav, if you can, because we are still, since we are in the flow, what happens in the examination hall, we can go. If you can just jump to slide 33. If you can just go to 33. So this is typically how to deal with essay type questions. And this is what Captain Ashok and even I was trying to say that, hello?
Yes,
we can hear you.
Yeah. So here, this is what I was trying to say, that and they are typically, if you can just read it, I don't want to just say the same thing, but it is basically trying to demonstrate the knowledge, analytical skills, ability to understand. It's not just, it's not typical school exam. If you can just jump to the next one slide, please. Analyze and interpret complex ideas or data, formulate and support. I mean, again, there's no point reading. I think we can also share this presentation. I will, of course, ask Captain Ashok and Mr. Krishnan if we can share it for the benefit of the participants, so that will be helpful for them. But it is basically giving you how we can apply what Mr. Krishnan was saying, apply theoretical concept to real world scenarios, like how just now the Russia thing is happening. So you have to apply the theoretical concept to the real world scenarios. You can jump to the next one, please.
I would like to add something over here, and that is your content which is there on the paper. Even if you just write 1 page or 1.5 page, which you feel, the quality of information which you part with is a lot more important in that essay of 1.5 page, rather than writing 3 pages and repeating or trying to, occupy space on that paper. Quality information which you have available definitely takes you forward.
So Eric actually just asked this. Eric just asked this question, absolutely the same question, that do we have to write 4 pages or is it one page good enough? So is it quantity versus quality, or is it actually quality what they are looking at?
Anupam, you
We have got, no, we have got Eric from the one of our members who's joined this. He has asked us this question: is it quantity or quality, or is it both?
Okay.
So Eric, I would like to answer this. It is definitely the quality. Quantity, I mean, as Captain Ashok just mentioned, that if you keep writing that same thing 3 times, it's not that you're going to get more marks. It is better that you be crisp in your message, and if you can deliver this message in one go, nothing like it.
Yes.
There is also one more. Somebody has just sent a message. This is for Valerian. This is from Gaurav Kullu. He has not received a hall ticket. My dates are November 13th, 18th, location Mumbai. So yes, please address to that also. We will do this.
We'll take care.
By Monday, he'll receive. I'll check with my records and I'll send if it's not sent. Because
Awesome.
I have to again cross check. Those who have sent, no, I have the separate list. So I'll just cross check again and I'll send it if it's not sent.
Perfect. Thank you
By
so much.
Monday.
So how would you work towards? So well, keep calm, consider your answer, brainstorm for ideas, decide the central points, read and understand the question. Okay, fair enough. Execute, plan and execute. Gaurav, request the next one, please. Well, it's saying the same thing again and again. Review course materials thoroughly to ensure a solid understanding of concepts. The past question papers are really a key. There are some very recently some people who have cleared the exams. They have got a big data bank of questions. We will give their contact numbers and you can actually contact them and they will give you the data bank of past question papers. In the past question papers, the beauty is it's not only that they have given the question papers, they have also mentioned what the examiner wants out of these questions. And actually, that is really the thought process which we have to put while we are writing exam. Because if this is the way the examiner wants the answer to be, we should also answer that way. So that would really help. That would really help. Gaurav, if you can go to the next one, please. Okay, again, we are talking about the same essay type. I just don't want to read it. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, just one point is that you do mention the current situation, which means that if there's some oil, the supply of oil has changed from the Gulf to Russia. Just a sentence would not be good enough. You have to mention that you should know the route which it is following. You should also know that is it commercially beneficial and what types of vessels are going there. So what I would say, do a little bit of study, just mentioning points about the current news highlights is not good enough. You have to mention something. So like the question which was asked about quality or quantity, you mention the quality highlight and then you have to do a little bit of explanation as to why you think so. So yes, just repeating it won't help, but an explanation that you understood how it's affecting the modern shipping in the world is very, very helpful.
Yes, thank you, sir. I was just, if you can, Gaurav, if you can also just jump to slide number 49. So sometimes the examiners introduce words like interrogative words or question words. So when you have something like this, then you have to answer how, what, which, when, where, who, why. So if there is any interrogative word, then you'll have to probably use something like this. And if you can just go to the next slide, Gaurav, because so if they have asked how is something, the question is how question seeks to understand, then you have to, your your answer should be as demonstrate, describe, detail, elaborate, examine, like this. If it is a what, then it is something else. If it is when, then there is certain different elements. If it is where, then again there are certain different elements. So see, when it comes to, if you see the difference between how and what, yes, demonstrate, describe, detail. Here, describe, detail. So there is few overlapping things, but however, when it comes to when, it just changes. Appoint, arrange, decide, designate, determine. So there is a little difference which happens here. If we can also jump to slide number 57. Let's go to the next one, please. See, everywhere we have seen so far, wherever they have asked us, read the question carefully. I mean, of course, this has been told to us even when we were in school, college, but here reading the question really makes a lot of difference. And read the question carefully, try to assess in your mind how much you know, how much knowledge facts can you display in essay format. And a quick essay plan will help you see how much information you must share. If you can just go to the next one. There are some please just. So if there is a compulsory question, you should do this the first, because anyway, because if you don't do it, you will lose all your marks. Because if you see here, it's very, I mean, even we have gone through the same thing. If we do not give the compulsory question, and if we cannot answer it, the chances are that we may fail in the exam. So do the compulsory questions first. Next one, please. So like most of the competitive exams which are there out in the open, this is not a multiple choice question. This is very, very much essay based question. So they are really trying to judge your thought process. How are you thinking about a particular topic? So Gaurav, you want to throw some light on this?
Yeah, I remembered my days when I gave my ICS exam. At that point of time, writing for 3 hours. I don't know when we would have done it last time, especially to the professionals, who've been working. So you really get tired while you're writing. So it may not be a bad idea if one wants to just keep on writing for a couple of hours so that you're used to it. And I think I gave a couple of exams in the same day. So then it really becomes even more tough. And if you take a morning afternoon session, then it becomes really even tougher. So that's just one thing which we may have forgotten. It's besides, your whatever you learn, it's also the practice of writing.
Since you mentioned about subjects, can you just put up a poll saying that let's see who's finding which subject difficult? Let's put up a poll. Let's hear it from the audience. Let's hear it from our ICS aspirants or people who are considering ICS.
So there are many subjects where you can apply. So because there are a lot of ICS aspirants. So basically, which one do you feel you would need more guidance?
More guidance, or you already felt that you are already getting a bit stuck. So we would really like people to. So these polls actually help us to understand better, so that we can, like, maybe for the November exam it's late, but for the ones which are in May, we can all, Captain Ashok and all of us, Gaurav, we can think of how do we develop our program to tutor all of you. Yeah, Tausif, you can even just stick on the poll, please, Tausif.
The second part to the question as well, in case your answer is not in the options, then you can just write down in the second part.
Yeah, you can just type others and you can just put whichever subject you don't, you would. Interestingly, some I have not yet answered. So that means they don't need any guidance, which is good.
Or they are still at a nascent stage. This is also okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I should end the poll. It's been a couple of almost 2 minutes now.
Please.
Yes, okay. So I would like to add a little bit for those of y'all who are ex-seafarers or who are currently sailing at sea, who are at sea, and you take up the subjects, and one of them is economics. It becomes a little difficult for you to handle economics. However, I had the same problem. So what I did was that I started going through each and every question and reading and writing it and doing the papers. So that I was fortunate enough to get through economics because it is something new for us. It's like a foreign language, But all the same, if you want to really do good at it, my answer to that is please write your answers down. Write your answers down, and you can be a judge of your own answers. If you missed out something, then you can add it, and that is really, really helpful.
Okay, so in this poll, if we see, economics of international sea trade is not the one which is topping the list of subject you need most guidance. It's interestingly legal principles in shipping business, which is understandable. I mean, even lawyers who are not into shipping, they have a problem in understanding marine law. So here we do understand. So legal principles in shipping business seems to be at the topmost of this particular which subject they need more guidance. So I think this gives us a good insight that what we should do for the next in terms of preparing for our tutorship. Okay, then I think we can just go to the next slide. Okay, there is slide 65 actually. Yeah, if you can just keep going ahead, it's not too far away. So again, it is exam. If you have to cross out words, do it neatly, just like any other exam we have. Examiner is looking for good communication. Again, what we have been saying, quality. If your thought process is good, nothing like it. Handwriting. Now, again, in today's time of technology, and we are typing ferociously into our screens to actually, and that handwriting in that slide is really nice. I wish I had that, but that's the kind of handwriting. If you can make it, nothing like it. So actually, what Gaurav also mentioned, that practice. One is knowledge that you have. The other is how do you put that into a nice handwriting is also equally important. So you'll have to do some writing practice and a well structured essay. So I think that makes this. Gaurav, there is something about sketches. So if you can just go to the next slide, because there are some areas where we have to draw. So if you can just go to the next slide, please. Next one. Okay. This is again about writing clearly. Next one, please. That's a good one, actually. So there are some places where you need to draw. They do say that please draw a general vessel, bulk carrier, 5 inches or something like that. Please use rulers. Please try and make it, like a typical how we have been taught in school, and even for people who have been sailing. So do the basic things. Use rulers. Try and give information. Try and label the things. So that will also help. There are some map making also which is to be done. There are times where the map making is done. So the route, like like you have to draw the areas, like the map of India, then say if you have to go towards Gulf, you have to draw that continent. So please do a bit of practice on maps also. Very, very important. I mean, I remember I was not good in drawing at all. My Indian map was not looking like India, but luckily I still managed to pass. But that's really important. Of course, here in map making, of course, I will ask Captain Ashok to give a here. If the map drawing is not so well, but if your trading route is okay, it is fine because you understand you're not supposed to be, you're not people who are making maps, you're not from the oceanography department. However, at least some similarity, it should look like India, it should look like the African continent. Captain Ashok, if you can also just guide here.
Like, like I've been repeating this the third time I'm saying, please practice, write it down. You will also get a chance to answer to write notes on. They will give you like demurrage, dispatch, and sea route or coal supply ports. So what you have to do is that you have to practice this, write it down, and if you keep drawing, it's not so difficult. It's not so difficult. At one where when we sat for the exams, I remember they used to give us the maps. They used to give it to us. The world map was given to us because it was related to the question. So I do not know how they are doing it. Valerie, yes, Valerie, can you tell us last exam that took place? You were there.
Yes, sir.
Were they giving the maps for the?
It was in the booklet only, sir. The answer sheet, no, in that only it is.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So that is quite helpful. They give you the map itself. If they are trying to ask you what are the coal routes, starting from Indonesia to, or from Richards Bay, or from one of the coal producing countries, how is it travel? And they also ask you what is the reverse route, like if a vessel goes to one port, what is the cargo she has on her way back. So all these things are important, but the point which Anupam was asking about the maps, they help you. But it's good to have. They will not give you a diagram of a ship. Where a ship is concerned, you'll have to get used to it, like they say. And the answer to all this is practice, practice, and practice.
Perfect. Gaurav, I think just go 2 slides after this, because now everybody would want to know that after writing the exams, how do we get the marks? Because ultimately everybody wants to know if we have written all this, how do we get our marks? So the marking scheme is, if it is right there, the marking scheme, this I will read out, because ultimately
Yes.
after all your hard work, you need to know how are they going to mark the paper. So the marking scheme is looking not only for the relevant shipping knowledge related to the subject, but the skill to be able to communicate this knowledge effectively. The papers are marked by the examiner and can then be passed on to an independent assessor for further consideration. And then finally, the papers can be looked at by the board of examiners themselves. So basically, there are 3 ways of assessment. However, I think again Captain Ashok would be, because I think he has been one of them, or both of them, or 3 of them sometime during his ICS journey. So Captain Ashok, have you been a person who has been assessing papers? Have you also done markings? Has your thought process been?
Okay, so Anupam, I have not been examining, or I have not been checking the papers. All the same, I do know the system, how it works. Where this is concerned, what it is telling you is how does the system work. When somebody raises an objection that he deserved higher marks than what he actually got, he deserved more. So that is the time when the papers are marked by the examiner and can then be passed to an independent assessor for further consideration. If anybody raises an objection to that he deserved much better, so then they are given to an assessor. All the same, if the person is still not happy with the assessor, that's the time when there are about 3 or 4 of the examiners who sit down and then they evaluate, and then it is a decision which is jointly taken by the board of examiners. So that is the process. But let me tell you that the system of marking is very fair and square. It is very straightforward. Very seldom do I hear about people who are raising objections. Yes, there could be 2 candidates who have just missed their distinction, or they weren't awarded the prize which they were both expecting. That is often taken into consideration, but the marking of the papers is very fair, very just. And let me tell you, there are some of the Indians who are into academics who check these papers also, and they are all FICS. That means the fellows of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers.
Great. So, sir, I would just want to, again, for the benefit of the crowd, all these papers are how many marks?
Yeah. Okay, so every paper is 100 marks. You get 5 questions, and you have to, the total number of questions is 8. Out of that, you have to do 5. And each question carries equal marks. So what I would just suggest you, that when you are doing these short notes, if they ask you to write small notes on 4 of them or 5 of them, that is a question that you must attempt, because you are getting marks for each and every answer which you give separately on a different heading. And if you can accompany it by a diagram or by some kind of your understanding how you should do it, that will be helpful. But these short notes are very helpful. That's what I'm saying. You have to know the subject in a thorough way, so that you know the general knowledge. And also they might ask you questions like on Demarage Dispatch, Baltic Exchange, or they might ask you about
scale, etc.
Yeah, so say like various questions of things, like what kinds of charter parties are there, how many types of charter parties are there. So briefly about 5 or 6 lines if you write, and if there are 5 questions, 5 of these short notes, that means you've already written 25, 30 lines, so that you gain more, because if you get 2 marks for each, 5 of them you straight away get 10 marks, or if you get maybe 3 marks each, so you get 15 marks. So my point is this: always go into a thorough study and go onto these small short notes are very, very important.
Okay, Gaurav, we can close the presentation. Thank you so much. Now, what is the passing mark, sir? What is the passing mark?
50
is the passing mark.
Yeah.
For all papers.
Yes.
So, and I like, as you just mentioned something about distinction and awards. How does that work?
Okay, that is done on a global basis. It is not individually done. It is done on a global basis. So that again is by the board of examiners. When they sit down, they assess it, and then that's the time when they start taking decisions as to how well the paper was answered, how many diagrams it had, or how many examples you were giving, what was the understanding. So that is done by the assessors. That is not a branch thing which decide. That is done by the selected examiners worldwide.
So there is so the toppers are from worldwide. The toppers are from worldwide, and then they decide who's got what distinction.
Correct.
And when you there is a question which I'm going to of course address. But when you say distinction, that means what percentage are we looking at? 75, like the whole school?
Yeah, well, like I said, Anupam, it is the highest in the subject. Now the
Okay.
But obviously, it is not that 2 of them, one has got 70, now the other
got it.
75 or 80, highest in that subject. That's how they get it.
So it's basically a percentile way they work. How
Exactly, absolutely, absolutely.
Got it. Perfect. So there is a question which is there's a question which has just come in. It was from I don't know.
Yeah, it's Xiaomi. It's the name of
Okay.
it. But,
It's a
but
phone.
how
It's a
many
phone.
persons generally pass? What's the typical passing percentage?
I think it is, you see, okay, let's put it like this. Earlier, we used to have papers only in the month of May, only in the month of May. Now, what has happened, we are having them in May and November. So it depends a lot of times what are the subjects people are sitting for, how many of times are they are repeating. But by and large, I would say about 60 to 70% pass, you know. I think that's a very rough figure. I've not even worked out on that. I was not prepared for that answer question. But all the same, I have not seen too many failures. But yes, if you don't understand the subject, then obviously the answers are wrong. But it could be easily anywhere between 60 and 70%.
Well, just to give Xiaomi, of course, we don't know your name. I'm sorry. If you can just type your name so that we don't have to keep saying that. Just to let you know, at least the three people who are sitting here who have given their ICS, that is Captain Ashok, myself, and Gaurav. By God's grace and a bit of studies, I guess, we all cleared the exam first in the first attempt. And I would like to share with all of you, Captain Ashok went into a different zone. After getting his ICS, he further gave 2-3 more papers just for his knowledge. Okay, Ankit. So it's Ankit who has asked this question. Ankit, thank you so much. There is one more question which has come. What is 2 exam in single sitting? Are you, Neeraj? You can ask us verbally. I didn't understand this question. You can just unmute and ask us. I didn't understand this.
I think it was probably pertaining to something which I said at the start, that it was not in single sitting, it was in the single day. So morning, afternoon, there were two exams in the single day. I don't know whether it was referring to that, but you can speak up, Ankit, or Neeraj, whoever.
Neeraj, you can. Okay, okay, Ankit. Honestly, our exams have got no connection with the MMD exam, so I mean we do not ask them and do the scheduling of our papers, because this paper is decided. This is decided by London, the headquarters, and the exams are there on the same day all over the world. So just to give you a little story, just to make things interesting, I actually did not give one of my MMD papers because that time ICS exams used to be once in a year. So I decided to do my ICS exam rather than my MMD exam. So because MMD exams are every month, ICS exams are where once in a year. Okay, Captain Ashok wants to say something.
So I would just like to add a little bit to that. See, MMD is a competency-based exams where you have to be competent enough to do a job. If you're not competent enough, you can't do that job. And it is, it reflects on your job when you're doing it at sea. However, this is a professional exam. There's no limit to it. The more you know about it, the better it is. And honestly, they're totally different. They're totally different. This is knowledge based, whereas the MMD is a competency based. So that's the difference.
Yeah. I would still request Neeraj, if you can just unmute and ask this question just because we don't want to answer something which we have not understand ourselves. Neeraj, you there? Neeraj, hello. Can we just send him a message? Neeraj, please call. Neeraj, please speak.
Hello, sir. I am audible.
Neeraj, very well. Yes, Neeraj, please go ahead. We would like to hear from you now.
Actually, I have checked the ICS website. It shows that for advanced diploma, you have to clear 2 exams in single sitting. 2 subjects in single sitting.
So you are doing advanced diploma. Neeraj, can you just introduce yourself? What are you doing? Can you just give a little background about yourself?
Yes, sir. Right now, currently, I am doing chartering executive job from last 2 years. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I am planning for this ICS exam in next year.
Okay. So foundation, you are saying you want to advanced diploma. So basically what they're trying to say, when you are giving advanced diploma, the subjects which are there for advanced diploma, you have to surely clear it in that period. Like suppose whenever your exam is in May, you have to finish it in May. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Okay, please, sir. Please, Captain Ashok, please go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. I'll just explain it to, I will just explain it to Neeraj. Now, advanced diploma. Advanced diploma is the latest qualification by ICS, designed by stepping stone to the qualification. An advanced diploma is awarded to candidates who have successfully cleared shipping business and one of the specialist group papers. So when they say that you have to do it together, that means you have to sit for shipping business whenever that takes place. Plus, you have to sit for a specialized thing like dry cargo, wet cargo, or it is sale and purchase, whatever the specialty is. So that is what they mean. You could be doing a port agency, liner trade, tanker chartering, whatever you feel like. But it has to be done at one sitting. That is what Gaurav meant.
So, Neeraj, I just want to ask you another question.
Yes, sir.
What is your plan? Are you eventually going to do your PQE, that is your professional qualification, like the whole thing? But you are right now breaking it up by doing it advanced diploma, and then later on you will do the balance subjects. What is your plan?
Sir, my main goal is PQE.
Okay, very good. So you are doing your advanced. It's a good way of doing it. So you do your advanced, because anyway this will be credited towards your PQE, so there is no problem.
Actually, I am planning for abroad jobs in the shipbroking. So firstly, I need this advanced diploma or foundation diploma to get the job in abroad from here. So that's why I'm planning it will be a better and easy way to get it.
Are you doing advanced diploma or are you doing foundation diploma?
Sir, I think I have to do it from the basic one, because I have the 2 years of experience in this dry bulk chartering.
No, that's perfect. Now, foundation diploma, if you're doing foundation diploma, then you have to just do introduction to shipping and one of the specialists from group 2. So, and if you are doing advanced diploma, then you have to do shipping business. And then you have to do another paper in the specialist group. So that is what you have to, be sure what you want to do.
So can I take directly advanced diploma?
Of course you can.
Okay. That will be, what you will suggest, if that will be okay, or should I have to begin it from the foundations?
You are already in the business of shipping, right? Like you said, you already got experience. So go for the shipping business. And shipping business is nothing new than what would come, than what you're handling on a day-to-day basis. In addition to that, you can do another specialist group, like you can do probably dry cargo chartering. So then it's going to cover it up, no?
Okay, got it, sir.
See, Neeraj, as Captain Ashok mentioned, if you do basic, you'll have to do introduction to shipping. You already are into chartering. You have already been doing it for last 2 years. So you straight away do your advanced diploma, where you do take shipping business and you take dry cargo chartering. That will anyway help you in your daily business also. And then eventually, the reason I was asking is, eventually you should aim for getting a full PQE, basis which these advanced diploma will be credited to your PQE. So there should be no issue.
Yeah, actually, I want to become a part of this ICS as well. So that's why I'm planning long-term PQE as well.
No,
excellent.
I must say you are doing it very well. I'm glad you are already in commercial shipping, and then you're getting yourself further qualified and you make it a profession. Honestly speaking, my batchmates who have done this professionally, they are doing very well. They are doing very well, whether it's in Dubai, whether it's in Singapore. They've started their own companies ultimately, which of course takes a period of time. But honestly, it's an excellent profession. So I fully endorse it. And yes, where I was concerned, what I did an additional, after I got my MICS, I did an additional paper of tanker chartering and I did an additional paper of port agency. I also wanted to do sale and purchase, but then, I gave it up at one stage. But where master mariners are concerned, you're required only 4, but I did 6 of them. In fact, they questioned me. They asked me, why are you doing it? I said, well, just for knowledge. And once you sit for a paper, then you feel a little confident. However, Neeraj, let me tell you that you are on the right track and try to get your PQE. it will be helpful for you. And any establishment you go to, this is for everybody who's present today. Any company, a company of international value or a global company you go to, there will definitely be somebody who's there, or maybe on up higher level you will see people are there who are from ICS. Either he'll be a MICS or he'll be a FICS. Maybe his membership is not valid, but he will always have good words to say about ICS.
I would thank you so much. I would also like to add for everyone that I'll just give you an example. When I had given my exams, I had taken tanker chartering, dry cargo chartering, and sale and purchase. And when I finally got an opportunity to commercial shipping, I did not do tanker chartering or dry cargo chartering. I was basically into the offshore industry. Of course, I did sale and purchase also, but the value of this course is good that though I may have not, and that time of course offshore industry there was no paper only, but because I had some background of tanker chartering and dry cargo chartering and at least the basic concepts like BIMCO, etc., the understanding of time charter, because even in offshore industry you have time charter, you have time charter, you have voyage charter. Even the charter parties are from BIMCO. Only thing, instead of a NYP or another, for the tanker chartering, we have something called as supply time or token. So, but thanks to this course, the basic concepts were still there. So even if you don't, the reason I'm just sharing this with you is that even if you suppose have done tanker chartering or dry cargo chartering, but you get an opportunity in some other commercial field, please jump into it, because you will anyway manage to learn about it. So that's not a problem. Gaurav, you want to share what subjects you gave?
I think before that, maybe just one thing to add, that if anyone is planning to give only advanced diploma, then they have to mention it in the form. So,
Yes.
because if you don't mention it, and you will not be considered for advanced diploma. So that just please keep that in mind. Right. I think maybe we have a question from Anandita. Let's take that, and then maybe I can.
What is Anandita said?
She has just raised her hand, and
Anandita, please go ahead. Please ask her.
Hi, sir. Good evening. I'm sorry, I'm logging in from my sister's account. I did not have Zoom on my phone. My name is Akshay.
Akshay, hi.
I just have a small question. Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, is this primarily for the deck side, or being engineers and taking up this ICS is good enough?
Can I answer this? Can I just answer this? There is just recently, there is a candidate by the name of Sumit Roy, who's a chief engineer was a chief engineer with Synergy or Scorpio, I forget now. He gave his ICS exams just about 6 weeks. He finished his, I think he's going to apply for his membership. He's just given his exams and he's cleared it all. And as we speak, he's already got a job in a broking firm and doing tanker charter. So I think that should answer all your doubts about deck, engine, sailing, non-sailing. When I was doing my ICS exams, there was a guy who was in an agency house working in Bangalore, did this, got an opportunity straight into Cisco Bremer doing the bulk dry cargo chartering. And then from there, he jumped to SSY. And so honestly, it doesn't matter deck, engine, etc. As long as you are an ICS, your doors will start opening for yourself.
All right, sir. Because I'm just asking on the premise that whenever I've spoken to somebody on LinkedIn or however, the opportunities what they always come up with when second officer is needed, or a chief mate is needed, or a master. So the application really goes out of that reason.
No, absolutely. So you are now talking to the right people. Captain Ashok, myself, Gaurav, Valerine, we are from ICS Mumbai office. So please talk to us, clear all your doubts. And of course, Captain Ashok has raised his hand, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, now the first thing, Akshay, your name is Akshay, right?
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Okay, Akshay, let me tell you. Now, I just spoke to Neeraj before you, and I told him that he was doing it absolutely the right way, which means that he is at a job which is related to commercial shipping. In addition, he's getting himself qualified. So nothing could be better than that. Where I was concerned, I did the studies and I was fortunate enough to do about 10 fixtures. It's called a fixture when you fix a vessel. After that, with no training in that office and the paperwork and the flow of flow of the documentation. I didn't have any idea. But once you're put into the pool, then you start swimming, so that was the thing, how it went about. Now, answering your next question, the study part which you do over here, you will, when you come ashore and if you're getting a job at the office, you will come to know how little you knew when you were sailing. The knowledge which you get by ICS, it is fantastic, In fact, to the extent that one of our committee members, which is Captain Mohan Naik, when we had a meeting, and he said the knowledge which I got from ICS was more than what I got from the extra masters, So my point, what I'm trying to say is, yes, you do not have to be it's good enough for any kind of a profession. Once you are going to do the ICS, it opens windows, and you can definitely, it's a qualification, professional qualification, which is very, very accepted and endorsed by every shipping company in the world. It's a global qualification.
So, sir, would you recommend PQE for someone with my background, being on the engine side, or
Akshay, what are
would
you
you
doing?
recommend some other?
What are you sailing as?
Sir, it's a chief engineer, sir.
So straight go for a PQE.
Chief
Go for a
engineer, sir.
PQE. Just head for a PQE. Go ahead, give all your papers. You will have to probably give just most likely 6 of them. Go ahead and do it.
Right.
See,
All right, sir. All right, sir. And the subjects don't really matter.
Subjects. See, now I will just answer your first. Because there's another question which is there, and it's in a way linked. Once you register for ICS exams for the first time, you can finish all your papers within 5 years. That's the rule as far as ICS is concerned. Now, there is a question which, and then we'll come back to your question about which subjects, because that's another very good point. There is a question, Captain Ashok, if you would like to answer. I have a doubt regarding the academic year and registration fees. If I plan to give a few papers in May and the rest in November 2025, do I have to pay the registration fees again for writing exams in November 2025?
Now, the question is this, that if you have got yourself registered to appear for an exam in May, and then you change your mind and you want to sit for the same paper in November, there is no extra charge for that.
No. So his question is, I want to give some papers in May 25 and some papers in November 25.
So that's your prerogative. Whenever you're prepared, you can do it. No,
so registration fees once paid is valid.
It's registered. You're registered as a student. So once you're registered, you can sit for it. No? But registration, each paper has a different registration. So keep that in mind. You can people who are sitting for an exam next year in May can get themselves registered and pay for the registration for that particular paper for next year. So if you're doing some papers in May, you can do the registration for the rest of the papers in November.
So Kunj, I hope that addresses your question, and I hope we have answered it. Akshay, coming back to you, what subjects to take? Honestly, this really depends. Okay, there are some compulsory subjects which you can't avoid. So wo to karna hi hai. What the choice of question, whether you have to do tanker chartering, whether you have to do dry cargo, whether you have to do sale and purchase, whether you want to do ship operations, marine insurance, offshore, that is completely up to you and what your interest has been so far. again, as I just mentioned, my own situation where I did tanker chartering, dry cargo chartering, sale and purchase, but I eventually landed up doing offshore chartering. But anyway, as I said, it helped. And once an MICS, always an MICS. Of course, if you keep paying the membership. But all I'm saying is that, that broad scope is there. So honestly, we can guide you. We can surely guide you. Let's catch up again. You can definitely contact us directly. Mumbai ICS at gmail.com. You have our contact numbers on the website also. Please call us directly, and then we'll answer this. There is a hands raised from Tosif. Tosif, go ahead.
Sir, actually, I had a doubt with regards to just to give a bit introduction about myself. I have almost around 8 years of experience in container shipping. I have worked with CMA CGM. Right now, I'm working for Merck's in pricing and quotation department. So the
Excellent.
query I had over here is I don't want to opt for any of the chartering subjects. Instead, I want to try my luck to appear for legal principle in shipping, logistics and multimodal transport,
Absolutely.
and liner and agency and all. So would it be okay or a good option if I pursue with these subjects only? Will it help me in
Absolutely.
future if I'm aiming for freight forwarding companies and container companies?
In fact, that is the reason that these subjects were added, because there was a demand for these subjects, demand from the industry that you please add these subjects into the ICS, so that we can have people qualified for such roles, and with an 8 year of experience. And in fact, I would say you are again on the right track, as we had another gentleman, that you have already got 8 years experience. Now you will augment your professional qualification by ICS by doing the subjects which you are already in a way practically doing. So your chances of clearing is much more, to be very honest. So I would personally suggest, please go ahead. Of course, Captain Ashok has some other ideas. Please, sir, please go ahead.
Okay, Tausif, let me tell you, if you're going for a PQE, there is one compulsory subject which you have to sit for. That is in Group 1. Everybody has to do shipping business. You cannot stay without shipping business. After that, when you fill up the form, you mention the subjects which you are actually sitting for. I suggest what yours would be logistics and multimodal transportation, and then you also have legal principles of a shipping business. These are just as suggestions. All the same, shipping business is a compulsory. So besides that, you go through the website or you ask for a brochure, which when you call our office, Valerine is going to send it to you. Go through them. The subjects are your call. It is your call. And with your experience, they can consider exemptions, but that is a call which is taken from UK directly.
Yes, so that's a very good point. I was also just thinking the same. Tausif, you know what you should actually try and do? You can, because of your 8 year experience, you can even apply, you go for PQE and maybe apply for exemptions for the course which you think you already know. Instead of giving 7 papers, you might just end up giving 5 or 4, or 4 तो नहीं होगा, but 5 हो जाएगा क्योंकि आप introduction to shipping हो सकता है, you might get exempted. Liner trade, because you are into it for last 8 years, you might get exempted actually. But of course, this is all depending on the examination body. But you can try it out. You can give it a shot. So, Tausif, I hope we have answered your question, because there's a question from Kunj. Kunj has raised hand. Kunj.
Many thanks, sir. I had one more query. Can I ask?
Okay. Kunj, after this, please.
Sir, actually, as rightly said by Captain Ashok, I need to appear for shipping business. So I have appeared for shipping business. I passed it, and plus I did my post graduation from Narottam Morarji. So I've claimed for 2 subjects, but right now the problem is since last 2 years, I have not appeared for a subject in ICS. So I just wanted to know, will that exemption lapse in case if I take more than 5 years to complete this course?
Captain Ashok, so it is like this. If it is more than 5 years, they may consider it lapsed. But otherwise, see, it is like this. It's a professional body. If there is a genuine reason why you have not done it, they will consider, yes, they might take the exemption fees again. But otherwise, if you have already got Narottam Murarji, you have already done shipping business, try and finish your PQE ASAP. I mean, you're almost there.
Saif, let me understand. You sat for your shipping, you've done your Narottam Murarji. Fine, you've completed it. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next question. Have you cleared your shipping business?
Yes, sir. I have cleared that exam of shipping
Okay.
business.
When you sat for your ICS exams, you couldn't have sat for only one subject. You must have sat for one more subject. Minimum subjects you have to sit for is two.
Sir, I appeared for legal principle of shipping, but unfortunately, I failed in that subject.
See, that's what I'm saying. So that is called compulsory subject. So you sat for this shipping business and you sat for legal principles. Out of these two subjects, you passed on shipping business, but you could not get through in legal principle. Is that how it is?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay. Which year was this?
sir. It was something around 2022.
Okay. So that is 2 years. 2 years. Now the earliest you can sit for will be next year. That will be in 25, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what I would recommend is that do you still want to do legal principles?
Yes, sir. I want to appear.
I would seriously recommend that you do it because you must clear because that is your okay. So clear your legal sit for your legal principles, write a mail to them, and there's enough time for you to start studying. And then you from the this group 2, you suggest you request them that you want to sit for logistics and multimodal transportation. So what would happen is that they would consider you passing your previous exam, and then it is going to be their call because you're going to take legal principles again, and then you have to sit for another paper which would be from your group 2. So it depends how many exemptions they allow to you. But please express your your current status to them very clearly so that then they can consider and get back to you. You've got enough time to do it. You got enough time to do it, so do it now, so that by this next year, that means next year or even by December, you will have your status absolutely clear.
Yes, sir. Noted. Many thanks, sir. I'll keep this in mind and I'll accordingly take future action.
Just follow up with them. Don't give it up. I know Captain Anupam, how persistent he was, and he got, and even Gaurav. You have to be persistent, and they will answer everything. Don't worry.
No, and you're almost there. And these 1 or 2 papers here and there, if you have failed, just go ahead and give it and get your MICS PQE. There is a question which is again very interesting. Student registration fee, is it valid for 1 year or for 5 years? Once you are registering as a student, sorry, Kunj, we'll come back to you. I'm sorry, just because this is connected to this registration also.
Okay. Valerian, are you sure about, are you aware of that registration?
Yes, sir.
Tell
June
me.
to May. 1 year only, sir. Academic year.
It's valid for 1 academic year.
Yes, sir.
So that answers Neeraj's question. Neeraj, when I meant that you can give an exam for 5 years, basically from the start till you finish your PQA, this entire process is for 5 years. So what I'm trying to say, suppose you have cleared one exam in year 1, one exam in year 2, one exam in year 3, then you have not given any exam in 4, 5, and then in 6 you are again saying, maybe they will say, sorry, it's all done. You have to start the whole process again. So the whole idea is that once you start within 5 years, they want you to complete. As far as the registration is that you have to keep it, giving it. It's Valerian has mentioned it for 1 year. Kunj, please ask. Sorry for keeping you waiting here.
No worries, no worries. Good evening. I am Kunj and I graduated law last year and currently I'm working in CMA CGM. So my question is, are people from legal background appearing for this course and would it be beneficial according to you all?
So I would like to answer this, sir, from my another perspective. We are quite closely connected with the marine insurance industry because one of our companies does marine surveying for P&I clubs. In a P&I club, in the underwriting department, most of them are lawyers. All the lawyers, at least 75%, whenever I have exchanged cards, they have got MICS or FICS against it. Because
Okay.
in fact, for a lawyer who's connected to the shipping industry, for them to actually understand the entire commercial shipping is most important, because otherwise, how will they understand the essence of the case? So there are a lot of lawyers, a lot of legal people from the from the law industry who are giving ICS exam.
Okay. Yeah, because I am indeed planning to give my papers in May 2025. So I just wanted to clear it once.
100%. In fact, just to let you know, I think we were talking to you also, and we have spoken to your company. They are looking at doing, I mean, it's not come officially, but I will just tell you that they were trying to do something in a group booking or and all that. So this discussion is on. I mean, it's not officially on. Verbally, we have discussed, but we have to actually, Captain Ashok was also busy. I was also out, everybody, but we are trying to come and we will see if we can do something. But definitely just for something which is very simple. People from the law industry like to do this course because their knowledge is enhanced.
Yes, yes. So, even I know many people from CMA CGM who are interested in this course, and yes, I am aware about this. Hopefully, it comes in process like soon.
No, no, we will connect soon. Kunj, please be in touch.
Yes,
And me and Captain Ashok and Captain Gaurav, we'll all try to do something, and we will connect with you and your company soon.
yes,
I
yes,
would
yes.
just like to add a little bit to that. I have had some legal issues when I was doing commercial shipping, and that it did happen that we had to approach admiralty lawyers. The knowledge of admiralty lawyers sometimes is a little limited as compared to the seafarers who have actually done the MICS. So that is one of the reasons it became a very, almost like a compulsory course for most of the marine lawyers to go and do the MICS, because they stress very heavily on the legal principles. So yes, it would be recommended that you do it, and it will be helpful for your career.
Okay.
Yes. So, thank you.
There is one more question. This is about the discounted exam rates.
Yeah.
Of course, the person AB tab. Of course, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not getting your name, but no problem. Normally, the discounted rates are very well flashing on our websites, on the ICS websites. Do we have a certain date, Valerian, that for
Yeah.
November, if you apply before, then you can
Yes.
get discount? If you can just, sir, or Captain Ashok, if you can just guide us.
Hello, sir. November date, like this exam date is over. Last
No,
was
not this year. Normally,
No. What was the last date for the discounts availability?
23rd September.
23rd September. So
so for
that
the November
This
exam,
year
it was
it
20.
changes, yeah. Mid-September, mostly the date be. It changes every year.
yeah. So they mention the date. It's almost about 1.5 months before the actual taking of place of the exam.
And
Yes,
for
sir.
May,
Yeah, they'll tell us. They'll come up with the dates. No,
okay.
come up with the
So
dates.
basically, it's around 1.5 months prior to the actual examination date.
Yes.
Give us a discounted date, and after that, there is no discount.
And
Okay,
the
so I hope that
discount is quite good. It's quite good. Valen, what was the rates? Discounted rates for how much?
108,
100. And what is the normal rate?
195.
190.
so that's almost 100 pounds, yeah.
So you're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about almost about 90 pounds, you know. So it's a
Yes.
good opportunity for people to go and to take the benefit of the discount.
Absolutely. अब जब पढ़ना ही है तो बैठे तो जल्दी पढ़ लो,
Oh, सस्ता
जल्दी
पड़ता.
सस्ता पढ़ लो. If I do okay, there's another question from Neeraj. If I do student registration November 24, then will it be valid till November 25 or expire before that?
Say that. What is the question? Say it again.
Question is, if he suppose he does a student registration in November, like this month, for example,
Hmm.
then will it be valid till November 25 or will it expire before that? The student registration, not the examination, the student registration.
It's valid for 1 year now. If you're going to do student registration, you might as well do it, close to the examination date so that you can sit for the next exam also, which is going to be in November. It's 1 calendar year. It's 1 calendar year. So then you can work out yourself, no? And you get an opportunity to sit for that paper in May again also, no?
Yes. So Kunj, perfect. So that's answered. Kunj, yes, there will be a discount for May exams also. However, that date of the May exams has not yet been declared. It will be declared and it is normally 1.5 months before the actual exam.
Around 50 days, 30, 40,
Okay.
50 days, 50 days. Yeah. Almost.
So there is a okay. Now, Gaurav, since we are almost coming to an end, there is one more tool which has, if you can just push that poll up as well. This is for people who would.
Yeah.
So because this is connected to the question which has just been asked by AB Tab. So would you like to take the tutorship if available for any of the subjects? So there are, let's hear. Well, your answers are absolute.
Just to answer AB's question, what is CN Beyond plus ICS member tutorship online classroom learning for? So AB, we've applied for the registered partner statusship, and once that happens, hopefully before the May examination, we should be able to offer some kind of tutorship to those who are willing to as well, and this will be in of course in partnership with ICS as well.
Perfect. So yeah, I think it's a fair. It's 50% says, around 50% says yes, they would like some kind of tutorship. Definitely, some says depending on how it is structured, because maybe people are studying and working and not in Bombay. So it depends whether it's online, offline, etc. And I'm glad that there are some people who say that we can do it on our own. So I think it's perfect. So I think yes, you are very right. Tutorship ICS is very expensive. This is a professional qualification which is global renowned, so they have their fees. Well, we will definitely let you know what we are planning in the future, as Gaurav just mentioned, and we will come back to you. You please keep following us, both the ICS page and the CN Beyond page on LinkedIn. That would definitely, give you the right information. If you're not yet following CN Bond, which I don't believe because that's how you're here. If you're not following the ICS Mumbai page, please do that. We have a dedicated page for this, and we'll definitely come back to you with a better solution. Hopefully, as not as expensive as the ICS tutorship, but we'll surely come back to you on that. So we have got a fair idea that yes, some kind of guidance is always required. So that is exactly why the poll was done. Captain Ashok, you want to add something here?
No, that's perfectly. What you said is absolutely okay. The thing is this, right now, we are busy and concentrating on the exams which are there in November. Post the exams, we are going to have a meeting and we'll decide how do we go about tutoring you. And we also appreciate the fact that £1,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and it is not what it used to be earlier. The systems were very different. But yes, we are there to help you. We will take you forward. We'll do the hand holding, and whatever we decide on the structure of the exam, on the timing of the exam, whether it is, we would also probably have a meeting just before the exam to clear the doubts. So all that is going to take place. So right after the November exams, we are going to start working on the exams which are going to be coming in May next year.
Excellent. So I don't. If thank you so much, Captain Ashok. Are there any further questions? If there are, then please do ask. If there are no questions, then we
Okay,
can.
so I would just
Okay,
like.
they just got a question. Exam
Sure,
center
sure. Uh-huh.
is an exam center for Mumbai. Which one?
Yeah. The MTI, SCI MTI, yeah, Marine Training Institute, which is in Powai, yeah.
That is in Bombay.
Yeah, Bombay.
But what about rest of India?
Rest of India, we have representative. Chennai, of course, they have the center where I think Delhi is concerned. Delhi is in ARI. Where Calcutta is concerned, where's Calcutta? Valerie?
Oh, Calcutta.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
She
but-
does, yeah, sorry.
So just want to know,
Because of
Valerie,
food, yeah.
that we have how many centers do we have in the whole of India?
See, Anupam, let me explain that to
Five
you.
cents.
Yeah.
5.
A candidate can come from anywhere and they get themselves, he could be from Calcutta also. If he says that he wants to sit in Calcutta, but he wants to map himself with Bombay. So that way, yeah, so that's how we do it. We've got Mumbai, we've got Delhi, we've got Dehradun is also there, no? Or Chandigarh is there.
Dehradun.
Dehradun is there. Then we have Calcutta and Chennai, of course, that is independent of us. So that's the number of centers we have. We are fairly well spread. So it is, and we have a representative there. Masters are there who can take care of it.
This is Ankit has just asked. I have a PGDSM from NMIS. NMIS, you mean to say Narottam Moraji of Institute, I presume. How many can I get? You can just go, I think you can get 3 depending on what course did you do. You can go on our website and there is a tab called exemptions. There is a full list of colleges and what subjects you can get depending on what papers you have done. You can get that. If you don't get it on our ICS Mumbai website, which I know you can even go to the ICS the main website.
UK.
But just to answer your question, I think it's about 2 or 3, depending on what course did you do. Sir, you wanted to say something, Captain Ashok?
No, that's fine. Absolutely right what you said. I mean, I was just going to say, in case the questions are finished and we are about to end, then I wanted to mention something else about first. Let us be sure that if the questions are over, I wanted to just mention a few things about my trip to UK. So yes, please ask them if they have any other questions to ask.
Any other questions? All of you, thank you for being so patient on a Sunday evening, killing your sleep. So thank you very much. Any further questions? I don't see any further questions.
Okay,
no problem. Please go ahead and update us about your meeting in London.
So let me tell you that where we are concerned is do not hesitate to contact us. Valerie is always there. She's there from Monday to Saturdays. Saturdays, of course, we call her only when there's work over there. So she's there all 5 days a week. And even if she's not there, the phone is always with her, so you can always contact her. That's number one. Any questions? Number two, I want to tell you that every year we have in UK a meeting which is called the Controlling Council Meet. This Controlling Council Meet is mainly for people who have been active in the local branch for about 8, 9 years or 10 years or whatever it is, whatever they feel. And after that, you have to represent your branch in UK, and there are people coming from all over the world. It is our vice chairman, Mr. Krishnan. He's in Dubai. He probably could not attend today. He's one of the great guys over there. He's a vice chairman of a global institute, which is which deserves a lot of recognition. Then we have the president, the actual president of ICS, Mr. Puneet Oza, who's also from Singapore. So yes, we are a very esteemed academic kind of people who have been very, very serious with the profession. And in this 1 year, it is like an AGM which takes place and everybody gives their inputs. So any questions, anytime you have, if we cannot sort them out during the year when we are here at our own branch level, we take them to UK, and most of the issues are closed over there. And very, very interactive, very informal, but yes, they follow a certain code by which we follow the systems, and we get solutions to all the problems which are there. So that is all from my side, Anupam. So, ab aap dekh lo.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much. Captain Gaurav, thank you so much. Valerie, thank you so much. I think we will keep doing such webinars, informative webinars. But at the same time, please feel free to call us. You have our websites, you have our email IDs, you have maybe not email, but you have our email ID, the ICS email ID. You have Captain Gaurav's contacts, details, CA and beyond. He's an ICS himself, really supporting this initiative also, and he's of course a member as well, so he will. And please, for any questions, do not hesitate. And trust me, lives have been changing of aspirants who did this exam, and then finally that it's been a tangent what they were doing, what they were thinking, and क्या हो गया उनके साथ. So please, थोड़ा सा मेहनत है, exam है, पढ़ाई है, पैसे हैं, but after that your career just goes like that. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Captain Gaurav, you want to say something last?
Sorry. I think it was a great webinar. I think the reason why all of us attended, or all of the candidates attended, was to know more information, and a lot of them wanted to prepare themselves for the next batch. And I think we've given them a lot of information. But I think what we'll also do is we'll continue doing this. We'll continue on this process so that everyone gets to know the most updated information. For those who are preparing for May examination, I mean, don't wait for Diwali. It's 2-3 days, 4 days down the line. But start immediately. Don't wait for the last month. You see the kind of discounts that you get if you book early. So, and honestly, once you do that booking, start studying, and I'm sure it'll reap great benefits for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Thanks, Valerian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Captain. Thanks, Captain Ashok. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.